What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris bringing you a game from a different tournament. This is going to be from the It's Gosu Monthly Madness, the Asian division or tournament or whatever you want to call it. This is going to be a game between Zenith and WE. It's from the round of 8, I believe, so getting pretty far along in this tournament. And the reason I wanted to cast this was, well, I already just casted the Zenith game, well, yesterday actually, and Zenith pulled such a wacky strat that I kind of wanted to see them again, so I saw that they played again, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep on sticking with Zenith, because I just love how they play. Admittedly, I do not follow much Asian Dota. It's mostly European. It's on Join Dota, the defense, stuff like that, so I'm not entirely familiar with these teams. So unfortunately I cannot say what they like, but this playstyle is pretty different. It feels a lot more aggressive, it feels a lot more wacky, but you know, we'll see what happens this game. Hopefully Zenith will pull out some big stuff. The ban so far, Queen of Pain being banned first, which is kind of weird, but you know, Queen of Pain is, when you think about it, a really dominating hero. Whenever she's in the mid lane, she rarely gets shut down, so it makes sense to ban her out. Of course, maybe you would want to pick her yourself. But when the other team, well, yeah, they actually do have a first pick, and maybe they just don't want to give that away because of the mobility. But other than that, Listrak, Darkseer, Nature's Prophet, all standard bans. Lycan is still bannable if WE decides to do that, but TA also being banned. TA has been seeing quite a lot of play in the recent days. Since she came out, actually, she's been played pretty heavily. And you could really understand why. She just has so much burst damage, and she's so survivable with that refraction. If somehow you manage to block even one big spell from the other team, your survivability just goes up so much. Zenith first picking the Invoker, and WE picking up the Lycan, who managed to get through, plus the Naga Siren. This is going to be the second game I actually casted with Naga Siren. First game I was kind of baffled because of the Siren build, but since then I've kind of realized that Siren is not played as a damage dealer in these games. She's played primarily as setup, and she only really deals damage really late into the game. But more importantly, you want to emphasize the setup. Song of the Siren into the Tidehunter Ravage is the kind of go-to combo. That is run quite a bit, because with that you don't need to pick up a Blink Dagger on your Tidehunter. You can just wade into everyone while they're sleeping, then you cancel off the song, everyone gets ravaged. Big, easy team combination that you could pull off, but once you do that, Siren is mostly just aiming to stay alive and get some Riptides out. Mostly because well, first, you don't really aim for a defusal. If you're going to play the Naga Siren in a game like this, you're aiming towards survivability. Try to do as much damage as you can with Riptide, and hopefully your team could really clean up. Later in the game, I'm sure it would behoove Siren players, no matter what they got before, to get defusal, to get something that gives them a little bit more agility, gives their illusions a little bit more damage, so that they could actually, you know, pop their illusions, surround someone, and then kill them in one swipe. I've yet to see that happen, but hopefully it'll happen this time. Lycan actually managing to get through this pick phase, the ban phase, I'm sorry, because the bans were actually Shadow Demon as the last one. Very reliable support hero, but you rarely see these support heroes getting banned in the first round. Usually you want to wait until the 3 picks are done. Then when you see what the enemy team has, and if they're pretty carry heavy, or if they're pretty gold or experienced reliance heavy, and they're needing a support, then is usually when you would see the Venomancer ban, the Shadow Demon ban, the CM ban. But banning him out pretty early, I mean, he is a great setup. He's able to do quite a bit of damage, and damage amplification more importantly. So he managed to get through, and WE managed to pick up the Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope is, I mean, like, he's really hard to keep down, but I feel like if you do keep him down, he's just such a bad hero. Like, it's a pain in the ass to do it, but if you do it well, then it'll help you just so much, because Lycan doesn't have any crowd control. He's mostly just a pure chaser, and if you could get a Force Staff, you get a Ghost Scepter before he really gets going, then you should be fine. Zenith banning out the Pugna, making sure WE doesn't take a heavy pushing strat, which, with the Illusions and the Wolves, their pushing could be pretty vicious. WE also eliminated the Enigma and the Enchantress, so lots of pretty standard bans, except for that Pugna ban. Well, Zenith does have some pretty big team fights, so maybe they're a little bit scared of that Nether Ward. Nether Ward, it doesn't whenever you're Pugna, it doesn't feel like the Nether Ward does lots of damage, but it really does. If you just lay it down in the back, and if you manage to keep it alive for the entirety of the fight, it does a ton of damage, and it really wrecks casting heavy teams. Just waiting for the last ban to come out from WE. So far, they seem to have been banning the more support-oriented heroes. Zenith does have Chen to support, so I don't think a Venomancer ban is completely necessary since Zenith, although they might go for it. There you go. Windrunner, a little more reliable, getting rid of Zenith's kind of mid-game, early mid-game strategy that they have going on so far. No right-clicking power coming out for them. WE is more than set in their late game. They have the Lycan, they have a Naga who hopefully can get pretty bulky, because I want to see a pretty farm Naga. And they CM for the early game. Probably would be in their best interests to pick up someone to really hold down the fort in the early stages of the game. Someone to help out Crystal Man in that regard, because Lycan can't really do much. Siren does a little bit with Riptide, but in the end she's just a soft agility hero, so maybe a little bit of an early game pickup from WE would be good for them. Something like a Tidehunter. Get that Ravage, Song of the Siren combo going. Get a freezing field in there also. Yeah, lots of ice and freezing and death from WE. Could be a pretty fun combo to watch. Now, what will Zenith want to pick up? I mean, so far, they have a little bit of pushing coming out from Chen. Although the big pusher, Leshrac, is out of the pool. Pugna as well, plus the Enigma. So pushing is going to be a little bit restricted in this game. They could still pick up someone like the Shadow Shaman or the Venomancer. There you go. Venomancer is getting picked up by Zenith. So they have their early mid-game strat set up perfectly. Now the only choice for them is, do they want to pick up another early game hero and go for an early push, get a lot of towers down, get a lot of ganks going, and then ride that advantage to a victory? Or do they want to pick up a carry hero, someone like the Anti-Mage or Morphling or something like that? Either one will be pretty good. Morphling would be able to combat the Siren and Lycan, although Siren is pretty annoying when you're a Morphling. I'm going to see what Zenith decides to do. Again, if I watched a whole lot more Zenith games, I would know what their style is, but I'm just jumping into this tournament after casting it. I actually did a dual cast of another different Zenith game with Mizram, so you guys should check that one out. Check out his channel also. It's all in my channel, the last one, so you guys could find that if you want. It was pretty amusing. It was great to dual cast with someone. I haven't really dual casted a whole lot, so good experience to have, I guess. And dual casting is pretty much the name of the game for esports. All the StarCraft casters in the big tournaments dual cast, and then in League of Legends there's always dual casting, and Toby's always dual casting. So if you could get that give and take, if you get that banter off and make it pretty fluent, then you're in the business, you're in the money. Earthshaker being picked up from WE. So there is another potential combo, Song of the Siren into an Echo Slam. It's not quite as devastating, since you need a lot of you need them to be clustered up for a really successful Echo Slam, whereas Ravage has a lot more range and you got a lot more flexibility with that. But it is a hero to hold down the fort early game. They are quite melee heavy though. That could be a problem for WE. Zenith with the Venomancer, Chen, and Invoker. Oh, hello. Okay. Do you know how I said that they were going to pick a Morphling or an Anti-Mage? Yeah, I'm wrong. That's not what we're watching. We're watching Zenith right now. You guys got to remember that. And Zenith picks up a Sniper. Well, the thing is, a Sniper, if you could protect him, he's going to deal the damage. The problem with Sniper is that when you have long-range initiation from WE, such as a Earthshaker Fisher into a follow-up from CM and Naga, then the gaps are going to be closed extremely quickly, and Sniper is going to get simply torn to shreds from the high amount of damage coming out from all of WE. Sniper you don't really see picked. He's not exactly a great flash farmer. What I mean by that is that he can't farm like an Anti-Mage with the Battle Fury. He can't farm like a Lycan in the jungle. He's really reliant on lane experience, and there you go. Another big teamfight hero picked up by WE. Exactly what I was predicting from them, but this Sniper pick, if they could protect him, if they could get him a little bit of farm, a little bit of levels, he'll be able to do decently. Unfortunately, Song of the Siren is like the best gap closer that you could ask for. So unfortunately, we might see this Sniper go down extremely frequently and extremely quickly during these fights. Anyway, let's go over who's playing what. On the Zenith side, we have Isis Heist playing the Invoker with the most badass hood in existence. Freedom playing the Chen. XY on the Sand King. I don't know who these guys are. Yeah, so Sniper and Finesse playing the Venomancer. I could probably go look that up. I thought their names would change, actually. FN2Y playing the Naga Siren. Luo playing the Earthshaker. JJ playing the Crystal Maiden. And Chen on the Tidehunter, and finally we have Icy on the Lycanthrope. I'm actually going to dip into here and see what... Okay, who is this guy? Oh, this is Chuan? Well, if it is Chuan, it's a stand-in, which... Okay, fair enough, you get a stand-in. And that's Loda, actually, the Sniper. So Loda's going to be playing the Sniper, who, like, managed to get some weird-ass name. Way to confuse everyone, Loda. But Loda is going to be on the bot lane. Looks like it's going to be a pseudo tri-lane with the Chen in the jungle dipping down occasionally and the Venomancer just to play that pure support. But unfortunately for him, there's a very deadly tri-lane on the other end as well. Earthshaker has long range. Oh, what the hell? You never get Aftershock level 1, guys. Never, ever, ever do that. Always get Fissure. This is like the stupidest thing that you could ever do ever. I don't know why you would do this. It doesn't do anything. It's like stats, except stats actually do something. But Earthshaker, CM, plus the Naga Siren, JJ already taking a Gale from the Venomancer, taking a couple of right clicks as well. I'm just going to call him the Venomancer, and see, now Earthshaker, if you had a Fissure, he would be blocked off and you could get a kill. But no, because you didn't. You got Aftershock. Why would you get Aftershock? If someone knows why Earthshaker gets Aftershock at level 1, by all means, please tell me. But I cannot think of any conceivable reason in any game ever that you would want to pick up a passive at level 1 where the passive relies on your spells. It's like, hey, Lycan, why don't you pick up Feral Impulse? That's a lot better. But even that, like, even then, Feral Impulse does something. Oh, Earthshaker giving an easy kill, as you see it now. A very annoying pause, but anyway. Tidehunter is going to be soloing the mid lane, going for a fast bottle up against the Invoker, who is already going for Exort. And when you have a Sand King Burstrike and a Venomancer Gale, plus a Chen creep, disable, pseudo-disable, crowd control going on, you could land those Sunstrikes pretty well. Invoker should have a pretty good time against this Tidehunter. If he keeps them from getting the last hits, keeps them from getting the bottle, the lane is pretty much won. XY on the Sand King up against Icy on the Lycan. Lycan already showing how good Lycan is in a lane. I mean, like, he could farm really fast in jungle, but if you could get him a free lane, by all means run that lane, because he'll be able to harass with the wolves and get quite a lot of farm. But if anything is going to happen, it is going to happen on this bot lane, and Earthshaker needs to hang around for experience. He needs that Fissure. CM is free to do what she's doing right now, actually taking a lot of damage from that Satyr. But she's going to be able to kill off this camp. Frostbite lasted a hell of a long time against creeps, and there you go, double farming the jungle. Unfortunately, they left FNTY here all alone. She's going to 1v1 the Venomancer with Loda, kind of sitting in the back. So you take aim, it's a passive, but it does something. This, I don't understand. But Loda sitting at 3 kills for 2, and I'm going to do this. There you go. Chen actually has the most creep kills, but Invoker just following by just a little bit. FNTY just picking up his first CS right now, so lots of range coming out from the Zenith side, and that's really going to pressure Naga Siren back, and especially combined with the fact that Crystal Maiden and Earthshaker retired to the forest for a little bit, meant that Naga Siren didn't get anything done. She is level 2, however, so she didn't get completely shut down. We now see Luo getting chased down a little bit by the Venomancer, mostly just pressuring him back. If you keep the Earthshaker, I'm sorry, back away from your sniper, then your sniper gets, well, that much more room, and it's hard to do because Earthshaker's Fissure range is pretty freaking gigantic. But if you could manage to do it, we now see an ensnare going on to Loda. Fissure gonna miss, block him off by a little bit, but did not get the stun, and the block, well, there's a lot of open space there. So unfortunately that attempt for the sniper kill did not go as planned. Regeneration. Sand King picking up regeneration, and he's level 3 against the level 4 of Lycan, even doing pulling with his wolves. So this Lycan is going to be all over this game. 9 for 10 for 4 actually, as opposed to only 4 for 0. Chen now is arriving into this lane. Frostbite onto Centaur Khan. Very good move, making sure she does not get stomped, but she takes a Gale anyway. And Sunstrike going to go off, hit perfectly on the CM. Meister is going to be able to pick that off. Finesse Meister. But unfortunately, the Earthshaker with his Monkey Fist is going to be able to punch the Venomancer down. So 1-for-1 trade in favor of Zenith because they did get the first blood. Unfortunately for Loda, he was not involved in that kill, but he got creep kills. And if you get creep kills, it's, if you get enough, it's pretty much the same as an assist. And Snare going off onto Chen. Is there another Fisher? Yes, there is. See, look, a Fisher actually does something. Chen is on the run from Siren, but Siren with that Riptide, I'm pretty sure it's 0 cast time or very low cast time, is able to pick up that kill, sitting at 1-0-1 for the Naga Siren. So even though she's not getting many creep kills, she's able to stay on par with the sniper. And even if she is not able to stay on par, she's allowed to fall behind just a little bit, because the late game from Zenith is primarily in the hands of the sniper, whereas WE, the late game, is split between the Naga Siren and the Lycanthrope. Venomancer is now smoked up, looking for a gank onto Icy. If he gets a Gale off with the Burrow Strike, he's going to be dead, but XY taking so much damage to the Wolves. Burrow Strike and a Sunstrike being able to hit, and XY barely managing to escape with his life. Going to actually continue farming, and that is going to give him a bottle. Yeah, bottle coming in for the Sand King, plus another 400 gold for him. This Invoker, I'm sorry, doing pretty good work from the mid lane. He's getting out harassed a little bit by the Tidehunter. We do see bottle crowing going on for the Tidehunter, and unfortunately no bottle being ran for the Invoker, so he's going to get out regenerated pretty quickly, because the Tidehunter just has that never-ending fountain in his bottle. Plus that Anchor Smash going to allow him to take the #1 CS spot in the map right now. Where's Sniper? Sniper's only 11 for 5, and that's kind of another big problem with Sniper. His base damage is so damn low. You get some lucky headshot procs, it'll help you a little bit, but even though your projectile is pretty much instant, if you hit with 50 damage, it's still very difficult to take the CS. Loda doing what he can. And well, with a player the caliber of Loda, you expect to get a lot of CS, but even then, showing a little bit of weakness with that Sniper pick. I don't think Sniper is something that Loda has practiced a whole lot, because, well, first of all, who would? But, if you get the farm up, if you get a little bit of levels up, then you should be fine. And Snare going off onto the Sniper, he immediately unleashes the Shrapnel. Sunstrike going to be hitting the Naga Siren perfectly. Fisher holding off Sniper in place a little bit. Freeze Bite is going to be able to take him over. But now JJ, this Crystal Maiden, is taking a lot of right-click damage. She's poisoned up, as well as a lot of Chen creeps. Last right-click from Chen, getting himself a double kill. Whew. So WE trades the Naga Siren and the Crystal Maiden for the Sniper. I don't think that was worth it, but you gotta make sure that the Sniper doesn't get any CS. And Naga Siren, she has totally unreliable gold. Finesse Meister now gonna get fissured, plus the Naga Siren in Snare. But Lua taking a lot of damage from the Chen creeps in the background. Chen getting a killing spree. FNTY is now on the run. She's taking a lot of right clicks. Sunstrike gonna be no, but there's Ensnare. Oh, beautiful play by FNTY, using Mirror Image to dispel the Assassinate. Looks like it didn't cast. It doesn't take mana, so I guess Sniper has that to go for him. But Sunstrike, unfortunately, being split amongst 4 creeps, so that did next to nothing.
Middle tower is under attack.
The farm just going left and right here, because the Tidehunter now takes the most farm in the game. Sitting at 900 gold, he can go for a fast Blink Dagger. Ice going for a 4-staff of his own, so typical Exort Invoker stuff. XY Burrow Strike into an Epicenter onto the Lycan. Getting a solo kill is something that I would not expect from the Lycan, sitting at a little bit too little. Well, a little bit too little. Sitting at extremely low health. Not something you want to do against Sand King, who is level 6. We now might see another engagement onto the bot lane. Venomancer missing his Gale, but it doesn't matter. There's a Troll Trap and an Assassinate. Kabam! Headshot. Crystal Maiden getting taken down by the Sniper. And I guess that's something that you can count on the Sniper for, the long-range guaranteed kills. Anti-Mage kind of has that. Morphling has a Waveform, but Waveform is not exactly an Assassinate. Going to be able to pick up Sniper. 1 kill with 3 assists from before. Let's see what item he's going to get. He could choose to go for a Shadow Blade. Although I feel like Treads, Aquila, getting the basics up, probably be a better investment of his gold, but who knows. It's a Sniper, and I have never seen a Sniper in a pro game, so I don't know if there's an accepted Sniper build. If there is, let me know. Siren has her Arcanes up, so she could spam up the Riptide. Still, in my opinion, not the best boot choice to go for Siren, but what do I know? Siren's looking for an Ensnare, and if she managed to get that, there would have been a Fisher to follow. Plus, now the Tidehunter also transitioning down to the bot lane, who does have his Ravage. Fortunately, he didn't get anything done. He's still sitting at 0-0-0, and that gave Ice a lot of free time in the mid lane. Get his CS up, now taking the lead. Chen is going to spot out Helloooooo. But I'm pretty sure Helloooooo saw that coming, so he knew what he was getting himself into. He likes to play dangerously. Loda's got to watch out from this Naga Siren. This ensnare is pretty large cast range, and cast time is also pretty small as well. But now Orange has transitioned to the mid lane. He does have a haste rune, so they could go really aggressively on this Tidehunter. Tidehunter, that's not where you want to be. Burrow Strike up and a Sunstrike immediately to follow. Just annihilating the Tidehunter. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Song of Siren has popped out. Assassinate trying to get that kill, but Song of Siren, I think, putting her to sleep, or maybe she was out of range. Song of Siren being used purely for defensive purposes and early stages in the game. It's perfectly acceptable. Later on, they would want to save that for the giant team fights, but I don't think there's any team fights coming in for the foreseeable future. Zenith now has 4 on the bot lane, looking to push the bot lane tier 1 tower. Naga Siren doing what she can, sending out a single illusion to Riptide, try to slow down the creep wave. But Sniper with level 4 Shrapnel is able to do quite a number to that tower. Shrapnel does damage towers, so Sniper, new pushing meta, max out Shrapnel. I don't know, but they banned out Pug Dust. That doesn't really make much sense. XY now diving pretty deep. Fisher going to go off, blocking Helloooooo in to take the Sunstrike perfectly. Ravage going off from Chen, only hitting the Venomancer, however. XY is stuck in the middle of everything. He's got to get himself out of there. He's just getting wailed on by the Tidehunter. He's trying to get sent back home. No, that was actually not a send back home. XY Burrow Striking out and still with a little bit of haste rune left. Able to walk away from that. How did you survive, man? I'm pretty sure Chen misclicked. Or didn't have Holy Persuasion up. But that's a prime situation where you want to send your Sand King home. Meanwhile, Ice is getting chased down by Icy on... Well, Ice and Icy. That's going to be a little bit confusing. Like he's managing to pick up a solo kill from the Invoker, who, even though he does have a 4-stat, you cannot run away from a hasted wolf like that. And it is simply impossible. Gale going off onto the Tidehunter. Just a little bit of harassment damage, though. Not going to worry about that too much, sending him a couple of gushes back in return. So this Tidehunter has gone for his arcane boots, so being able to spam up that, and XY getting a solo kill on the maiden. Fisher going off, and here comes the Monkey Fist. No Sandstorm actually dodging that, but a gush. It was only level 1, so it's not enough. He's using bottle charges to try to surf through this. He's sitting at 8 HP. Anchor Smash misses. Is he going to get... No, he's not going to get out of this. There you go, another Riptide. XY unfortunately ran out of mana. Didn't have enough to Burrow Strike onto the high ground. And if he did manage to do that, he would have been home free. Actually, no, Fisher would have sniped him off, so he was dead anyway. But he's still using his bottle pretty well. It's tread switching, stuff like that. Just buying him a little bit more time, wasting the time of WE. And Sniper actually went for Hand of Midas. Hand of Midas 10 minutes in. Not the fastest I've seen. But I guess if you're like the pure hard carry, it's not a bad choice. Helloooooo now is going to dive for the Sniper. Unfortunately for him, he did not realize that Chen was there. Sunstrike going to miss completely, but Helloooooo is going to get assassinated. Boom, headshot. FNTY ensnared up the Sniper, but he... How did he get that, man? Yeah, Chen, arcane boots. Sniper still sitting pretty on the bot lane, picking up another kill for him. Fortunately, the Earthshaker had no idea that the Chen was there. If the Chen wasn't there, then Sniper pretty much would have been dead. He did drop the Echo Slam before he died, but it really did not do anything. And Sunstrike coming in just to be a scare tactic. And tower denied by the Tidehunter. So good play by the Tidehunter, making sure that he kept his mid lane tower alive as long as he can. And then managed to cap it off with the deny. So good play by him. Sand King sitting at Power Treads and Ogre Club. He's going to be very tanky. But that's definitely not the build that you usually see coming out from Sand King. Usually you see Arcane Boots and into a Blink Dagger. He's now going to run into Chen. Burrow Strike in for that regeneration. No, you let him get it. Why would you do that? XY is now on the run from the Tidehunter. Earthshaker is going to come as well. Fisher. No! Bad Fisher, but it looks like it doesn't matter. Ravage being popped. If the Fisher was better, if the Sand King was over here instead of over here, they would not have needed that Ravage to get that kill. And now Ice running away from Icy. Icy does have his ultimate form up, popping the wolves and his ultimate. Invoker's got to get out of there. He does not have any points of Wex, however. Summoning Forge Spears, trying to slow down the wolf. Looks like they don't want to dive this. Probably because Tidehunter does not have his Ravage up. So a little bit of a misplay by the Earthshaker. Did still get them a kill, but wasn't the best kill that they could have asked for. This tower is going to fall down. Lots of heroes on the WE side are on the top lane, and this tower is going to get destroyed by the Dire, so a little bit of gold for everyone. A couple of Zenith, no, just one. Venomancer drinking a whole bottle of smoke by himself. Just to farm that up, I guess. Burrow Strike into Epicenter, now going to hit FNTY. Epicenter is going to pulse through the Song and Siren, so it doesn't matter if you're sleeping, the Epicenter pulses still go off. An easy kill for XY, who's just been all over the map, just ganking everyone in the Sunstrike to follow by the Invoker. That Naga Siren simply not bulky enough. Looks like she's going for a Vlad's? I want to say a Vlad's, or a... It could be anything. I don't like Vlad's at all. Siren doesn't help your illusions, but then again, I don't know how Siren is built in these pro games. I would expect a Vanguard or a Heart or something big and healthy, but it is going to be a Vlad's. And the reason why I don't like Vlad's and Siren is, one, it doesn't help your illusions, and two, you already have a Vlad's. I mean, like, it does allow you some pretty decent damage, I guess, and lifesteal, so you could just farm the jungle all day, but ideally I would like to see something else. And what are you doing here, XY? XY is stuck in the middle of everyone. He's so dead. I don't see him escaping from this. Burrow Strike is up in another 1 second. He could probably Burrow Strike to the high ground. No, he's actually going to Burrow Strike into the trees. He's going to get out of this, wasting a lot of time from the Crystal Maiden, Siren, and the Tidehunter. They still think he's there, and well, now they're going to bail out. XY playing like an absolute baller. By baller, I mean reckless, but hey, he did buy time for his teammates to take out the tier 2 tower. And that is going to mean that WE only has 2 towers left, whereas Zenith is sitting at 4, so the gold advantage and the experience advantage should be sitting pretty well into the Zenith favor. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. Lycan is leading the game as far as farm goes. Sniper sitting in the middle of the pack, which is definitely not ideal for Zenith, but he does have the Hand of Midas, so his farm is going to go up quite a bit more than the last hit deny chart would suggest.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Zenith now with a Forge Spirits, pack of Chen creeps, plus the Venomancer wards, going to be pushing on to the tier 2 in the mid. Siren has some illusions. Those are just, yeah, those are actually her real illusions with double damage, looking to get some Riptide off of someone before this fight starts, hitting everyone. So good Riptide by her, but there's no follow-up from the rest of her team. Tidehunter is taking a lot of damage. Snare going off onto Freedom. Sunstrike going to miss Tidehunter, unfortunately for him. FNTY is still here in the middle of everything. Loda getting taken down by Riptide. Icy is now on the chase for Ice Freedom, getting chased by the rest of the WE team, getting completely blocked. Echo Slam being used for that one. That's 2 easy kills for WE, and they're going to get another one. Venomancer, what are you doing there? Burrow Strike in from XY. You do not want to be there, XY. He has to get out of there. Fisher going to miss. Good of XY to instantly bail out of that Sandstorm, but he still wants in on this. He wants another Burrow Strike onto Luo. Luo's getting dropped extremely, well, a lot. And now Sunstrike can be used onto Icy. It's going to be split amongst his wolves, however. Ice is overextended just a little bit. Burrow Strike needs to happen in order to get this kill, but Ensnare is going to prevent that from happening. Zenith actually managing to turn that fight around just a little bit. I don't know, XY was kind of skirting around the edges, and if WE, who are all clumped over here, just went and killed him, I feel like that would have been a lot better, but kind of concerned with clearing off the Forge Spirits. We're doing quite a bit of damage. High level of extort coming out from the Invoker. So Zenith kind of salvaging a fight that didn't look like it was going to turn out that well. WE still has their Ravager, they still have the Song of the Siren. They use the Echo Slam, but you managed to get a kill with that. That's perfectly fine. Epicenter being used on the Sand King, going to be able to take down the Naga Siren. She's trying to teleport out. Not enough time though, not enough health. I mean, if you had a Vanguard, that would have been enough health. And it looks like she is going to go for a Vanguard, or at least a Heart at this current point in time. But the Vlad's stalling up that Vitality booster, which, well, like she has both, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But still, Vlad's, I don't like it. Because you already have a Vlad's, you don't need to stack that shit up. Vlad's no drum, because it's pretty expensive actually. WE warded up the area, and they're going to go for Roshan. Unfortunately for them, their towers are being pushed a little bit. But with the Lycanthrope, who has a couple of points in Howl, 2 points in Howl, a little bit of extra damage, and now Venomancer going to come in, fake Chuan, real Chuan, I have no idea. He's chasing the Earthshaker. Doesn't look like they know they're Roshing, so they're just going to go straight for the Earthshaker kill. Earthshaker going to get hit by a Sunstrike and a Chen nuke. Sand King actually Burrow Striking into the trees. He needs to blink out right now, but he doesn't have anything else to do. So JJ getting right-clicked, but a Ravage being popped off. Chen is going to be taken down. Venomancer now on the run. Lycan is in his ultimate form and does not looking good for the Venomancer. Lycan's Thrope is going to be able to pick up that kill, but Invoker with the Forge Spirit actually taking out the Crystal Maiden. 2-for-1 trade, but WE did get Roshan as well. And now XY wants more. He's going to Burrow Strike in, going to go for Luo. He's going to manage to get that kill and blink out just fine. He's on the high ground. I don't think WE knows where he is. Do they? They can't, no. They might know. Burst Strike and a Sunstrike going off to Icy. XY is just playing like an absolute maniac. He does have his Blink Dagger up and Sandstorm if he can get those off. Sandstorm right now, it's going to save your ass. Is he dusted? No, he's not. Anchor Smash, not enough damage. When is Riptide going to come out? Burst Strike on 2. He's going to be able to run away. Blink Dagger as well. Song of the Siren being popped, but not in range. Looking for the Sand King, but Sand King, oh, Sand King just on the edge of the sleep. Might be in a little bit of danger. Burst Strike down? No. Canceled out perfectly into a Riptide. So Sand King playing like a baller, but unable to escape. So baller status about 90%. Fortunately not that magical 100 number. Invoker now looking to do things by himself. He's going to go strong onto the Tidehunter, taking a lot of damage from these Naga Siren illusions. Fissure going to come off as well. Sunstrike is going to miss. Invoker might have overextended. He is going to take the kill, but there was an Aegis on the Tidehunter. Definitely not what he would have liked to have happen. Ghostwalk is being popped off with the Riptide missing. When is Earthshaker Fissure going to come off? 4, 3, 2, 1. Is he going to blind Fissure? He knows where he is. Fissure going to be able to take out the Invoker. Invoker, unfortunately, using his teleport a little bit too soon. He was still in the danger zone, and that's going to be another kill for the Earthshaker. Sitting at about 1,000 away from his Blink Daggers. Once he gets that, the big team fight of WE will really erupt. He doesn't even need his Blink Dagger, honestly, though, if they get his Song of the Siren just right. Let's see what Loda's getting. Loda's getting a whole lot of nothing, sitting at 3,100 Gs. Huh. The core items for Sniper are usually a little bit cheaper than 3,100. He could get an Eagle Song now. I don't see why he would, though, because he's getting right-click pretty hard. Lots of magical damage coming out from the other team, so Butterfly not going to help him at all in that regard. But we're going to see what he decides to do with that. Staff Witch being picked up by Chen. Most likely going to go for a Force Staff or possibly an Aghanim Scepter. Either one's a very good choice. Hood on the Venomancer, so he's going to be pretty tanky. With those 12 assists, he's going to be rolling in the dough. Still just an Ogre Club up for the Sand King, who's now going to Burst Strike onto FNTY. That is the real one. He's going to Riptide and walk away. Meanwhile, on the W side, Lycan picking up a Belt of Giant Strength, going for a Necro Book. He's going to meet Sniper in the lane, and there's an instant Shadow Blade being picked up. WE does know about that, however, so it would behoove them to get some detection, not only for the Sniper, but also for the Sand King, whose Sandstorm has been quite a pain in the ass, and XY is just playing so dangerously, just going into the enemy jungle. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. Naga Siren sitting at 1,400 gold could go for either a Heart of Tarrasque or a Vanguard, depending on how much her farm is going to increase going into the mid portion of the game. Sunstrike going to go off onto Lua, and these Forge Spirits doing quite a bit of damage. Not enough to take him out, however. Tidehunter sitting at mech with a Hood, so I'm probably going to go for a Pipe as well. And Crystal Maiden going for the patented Nothing build. Patent no longer pending. I did get the patent from the patent office, and Nothing build is a thing now. So if you use it, feel free to pay me royalties. FNTY going to run into a whole fake Invoker army, instantly conjured, and it's a lot of damage coming out from them. Bottom lane is going to get pushed down. JJ taking an Assassinate. Assassinate is a very low cooldown, but a very high mana cost. So if you want to do that, where is Ursh? Oh, okay. Sand King trying to be a baller, but unfortunately not going to be able to pick that up. And what are these kills that are happening? I'm missing them all. CM going to get taken down. Sand King going to get taken down. But all of WE's towers are now gone. So Zenith does have pretty much complete map control. This tower somehow is still alive. You, my good tower, are a Miracle Tower. Ice fighting a couple of wolves, and he's starting to put pressure onto the tier 3 tower. He's going to take a gush from the Tidehunter. Shrapnel going to go off, slowing all of WE just a little bit. Lycan, not as much, because, well, he's hasted. Fissure going to go off onto Ice. Are they going to engage on this? They need a Song of the Siren into a Ravage. No, Ravage actually isn't there. Echo Slam not there either, so WE, if Zenith wants to push, their time is now. Loda does have lots of range. Blink Burrow Strike going off onto the Crystal Maiden and the Lycan. Are they going to be able to take him off before this fight even starts? Assassinate is going to seal the deal. Boom, headshot. No, Chen somehow stole that kill. I don't know how that happened. But now FNTY looking to do some damage. Going to go Illusions. But a huge Burrow Strike going to catch Luo, and FNTY's Illusions are still alive. However, Ice somehow managed to survive that. Luo getting right-click down. Sniper is in the back destroying the tower, however. Forge Spirit's now being summoned by the Invoker to try to take down this Rax. If they take this Rax at 20 minutes in, it's going to be absolutely huge. WE still does not have their big ultimates. They do have Song of the Siren, which could solve them up for a long time. But unfortunately, there's nothing else to set up. Aside from that, Burrow Strike and Deafening Blast can be used on the Tidehunter. They want to take him down. They don't know the status of his ultimate, and there's a Song of the Siren. But unfortunately for her, Siege creeps, doesn't give a fuck, and the Rax got taken down. Loader taking a lot of damage. He can get sent home. Ensnare not enough to keep him there. XY is going to Burrow Strike into a Meteor. Chan taking a huge amount of damage. Mech can pop off, just barely letting him survive. No, the Forge Spirit's the last right click. XY now on the run. He still has his Blink Dagger, and he still has his 90% baller status, so he could get out of this using a Sandstorm, but a Fisher instantly to cancel that off. Invoker is now back into this fight, doing lots of damage to Forge Spirits, to Luo, the Earthshaker. XY is still in the middle of everything. He got sent back home perfectly. He's still alive. He's going to be safe as well. Ice is Ice now on the low ground. No Force Staff in sight. He needs to invoke Ghost Walk right now, but even if he does that, he's going to be in quite a bit of danger. Invoke it. There it is. Is he going to cast it, though? He wants a little bit more movement speed. There it is, and JJ going to unleash the Crystal Nova. Is there going to be Riptide? They know where he is exactly. He's got to be extremely careful. Looks like FN2Y doesn't want to play that game. Instead, just going to go for him. Oh, that was pretty intense, guys. Excuse me while I drink some water. So good play by Zenith, recognizing that the Earthshaker ultimate and the Tidehunter ultimate were down. WE could not bring their team fight together. Fortunately for them, that does mean, well, one Rax, but the range Rax is going to follow soon enough. It's hard to keep the range Rax alive once your melee Rax goes down. That's a pretty huge advantage going the way of Zenith. Sniper was just sitting in the back after unleashing his Shrapnel and Assassinate, just chilling. With the huge range, you can't outrange towers, and WE was in no position to engage on the Sniper because they themselves got engaged by that beautiful Sand King ultimate. I'm not sure, I don't remember if Lycan died. I'm pretty sure he did die in the beginning. Buybacks, I'm not sure if they happened. Buyback did not happen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's just been no buybacks from the WE side. So they didn't spend any gold unnecessarily like that, but Sniper now sitting at 4k gold after taking down a tower and a Rax. He's pretty damn wealthy. He could buy whatever he wants, really. Probably something with a little bit of health. I don't know. Sniper builds, you could really get anything, and there's no best build for Sniper. But the range Rax is going to die eventually for WE, and that is going to mean that Zenith is going to have a pretty dominating advantage. That means they can just park themselves right over here, siege this tower with the Sniper, siege the tower with the Forge Spirits, and WE is forced to initiate. But if they choose to do that, the ultimates from WE will be up. Blink Dagger being picked up by the Earthshaker. Tidehunter still with that mech, and he's going to run into... Oh no, you are so dead, Venomancer. Gush to follow first to open up. And he's going to unleash his ultimate to do a little bit more damage, but not going to be enough. He's going to do quite a bit of damage, actually. Sunstrike going to hit perfectly onto the Crystal Maiden. It might be enough. They're going to have to pop mech, and Crystal Maiden will be alive. But the creep wave from the bottom lane pushed all the way back to their base again. Pretty fast pushing going off there. Sinking out the BKB as well, so nothing's going to be able to Ensnare does go through BKB. I'm not sure if it interrupts, though. But a blink up from XY going to be able to take down the range Rax, and that's what I said. It's hard to hold your range Rax once your melee Rax goes down. And now the siege begins from Zenith. They're waiting for their Venomancer, get a little bit more poke damage in. He's going for a pipe. And once everyone gets there, they can do quite a bit of damage to the tower of Hyperstone. Maybe the machine gun build? And machine gun build isn't actually a thing, it's just massing up attack speed, and it seems like a machine gun. Song of the Siren being used, going to catch off Chen, Ice on the outskirts, but perfect Ravage, going to be hitting everyone, and Loda is in the middle of everyone. Fisher going to be popped off for him. XY is in the middle of everything, however, with a huge epicenter. Meteor and Everything Blast going to flatten two people. Oh god, that's not what you want. Oh. FN2I teleported back into this game. A huge Echo Slam, however, going to be holding off everyone. Chen going to be taken down immediately. Sand King to follow. JJ, the Crystal Maiden, unleashing her ultimate, trying to get off Ice's Ice, and they are going to be able to snap him down with the Naga Siren. Oh god, I just like... Sorry guys. Oh, that's not what you want to have happen when a team fight erupts. Yeah, when you swallow, you're not supposed to swallow like that. That's not how you're supposed to swallow. Oh. That was bad, man. Oh. Hopefully that won't happen again. What a pretty dominating team fight going the way of WE. And they could afford to do that every time their ultimates are up. So in another minute, that's going to happen again. So Zenith has to either pick off someone. If they pick off the Naga Siren, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to get that team combo off, but now sitting at almost a heart, and going to be getting an Aegis as well. It's going to be hard for them to pick off the Naga Siren. She did manage to buy back and still get that Reaver, so she is farmed like hell. But Loda actually taking the lead for the last hits. Going for a Mjolnir. I like it. First of all, I just love Mjolnir, and second of all, it kind of makes sense. Because Sniper, not really with the most base attack damage, and it doesn't really get very high compared to, well, 95 with a lot of agility. Still got 120, 98. So, not really the most damage coming out from Sniper is pure right clicks. And if you get a lot of attack speed and you get a lot of chain lightning procs, then you don't really need a lot of base damage, because the flat magic damage will be wrecking the entire team. Now I'm interested to see if this works. If he puts the static shield onto, well, whoever gets focused, really, do a little bit of magical damage that way. But the pipe is up, I believe. No, pipe's still not up on WE. Just a lot of general tankiness. Earthshaker very tanky. CM, as CMs are, being the weakest hero on her team, but, what are you going to do about that? Sniper's done with his Maelstrom, waiting for that Mjolnir. Wolf's going to get hunted down, and all the creeps are now on the WE side of the game, of the map, of the game too, I guess, but mostly the map. Shrapnel going to go off doing a lot of damage, and the Venomous Wards combined with the Forge Spirits that are now up. This tower is not long for life. Is the ultimate combo up? Yes, it is. Song of the Siren going to be able to sleep everyone, but the pipe is there. They're going to have to wade through this ice wall, slowing them down quite a bit. Chen is now in position. Huge Ravage and a Meteor coming down on the other side, however. They're going to go straight for Loda. Loda's taking a ton of damage. He's in the middle of everything. Like a throw opportunity, we could be able to crit him down. That's 2 down for the Zenith side. And WE, even though they're 1 racks down, they do not look like they want to give up this fight. Force Staff onto the high ground from Chen. Blink Dagger up on Luo, going to go for Ice Ice. He's going to be going toe-to-toe with him. Gush being able to take down that kill. And 3 for 0 in exchange in favor of WE. Invoker buys back. Is he going to Sunstrike anyone? No, he's just going to teleport to the mid lane as XY is now entered the fray. Epicenter hitting on no one, however. That is not what you want to have happen. And the team fight from WE just so overwhelming. And really, there's nothing to do. There's nothing you can do. I mean, like, you could try to catch off Naga Siren. That's their best bet. If they catch off Naga Siren, then they could take her out. They get rid of the assured initiation. But even then, Earthshaker with Blink Dagger, Tidehunter with a long-range Ravage. Another option for Zenith is just to weather the storm, take the hits, and then hopefully, when the ultimates are down, make another go for the tower. This tower is starting to drop in health. It's almost dead. The Forge Spirits, Shrapnel, and the Venomancer working at it continuously. So that is another option for them. It's obviously not the ideal way they want to fight, since, what fight will be? Okay, we're going to fight, die, and then just push him again. It's definitely not a good thing, because every time you do that, you get farther and farther behind. But if they manage to take down a tower, if they manage to take down a Rax without the giant team combo coming out from WE, then they're 2 Raxes ahead, and WE then is in a lot of trouble, because right now, with 1 Rax down, they're managing to hold these creeps to around here, and still have all the heroes here when the team fight actually erupts. But if this is gone, then this is going to push in, and then this is going to push in as well, and this is also going to push in. This is probably going to be held here, but it's going to be hard to have heroes on all 3 lanes and be ready for a team fight at the same time. And I freaking love drawing on this map. I feel like I'm John Madden. So I'm just going to, there you go, guys. Another push. Push number 3 coming out from Zenith. Song of the Siren is up in another 20 seconds until Ravage and Echo Slam are up. They got to go now if they want to do it at all. Unless they're just going to, but if they don't, they're just going to get completely wiped once again. Static Charge being used on that Sand King. And he's looking for initiation, but it's simply not there. Now all the big ultimates are up, and Zenith has got to be careful. They take another bad fight. The advantage, I'm pretty sure, is going to go the way of WE. The experience already crawling towards there. The gold might be maintained in the way of Zenith because these creeps do give less bounty. See, only 20 gold coming out from them. So the gold advantage is going to still be there, but FNTY, there goes the Song of the Siren. Tidehunter's moving into position with the Ravage. There goes the Song of the Siren getting cut off, and instant Ravage being popped off. Huge damage is being done. Loda instantly being taken out. It's weakness of the Sniper. Burst Strike and Epicenter going to be used onto the Sand King to do a lot of damage to Tidehunter, but they're just going to melt the enemy team, actually. XY with that Epicenter doing so much damage. Buyback now coming out from the Earthshaker. Burst Strike onto JJ. Finesse Master is still here, and the Invoker is here as well. Going to Cold Snap. Luo try to take him down. Icy is still alive. He does have an Aegis as well. XY taking a lot of damage. He's completely out of mana, so he's got to get out of there. There's nothing else for him to do. Freedom going to send him back home. Looks like he's going to be out just fine. And Sniper being the only one to fall. No, maybe I spoke too soon. Freedom now taking an Anchor Smash and a Fissure. Going to try to run away with the Force Staff. Unfortunately, with the Gush and another Fissure going to come off cooldown. But no, Burrow Strike back from XY. Spider-Master is here as well. X-Slam being dropped by the Earthshaker, trying to do a little bit of damage, but XY just so damn tanky. For some reason, Fissure going to be going off to hold him back. Just needs one more Burrow Strike, No, his Burrow Strike was up, but he didn't use it. Spider-Master going to get clubbed down by the Tidehunter. Tidehunter gets a triple kill. Sand King buys back instantly. And, oh, what are you doing, Ice? You need to get into Ghost form right now, or teleport or something. Go into the trees, teleport, or just teleport. It's a good option. No Fissure? No Fissure. Unfortunately, Luo went completely the wrong way, and Invoker's going to manage to survive through all that. Creeps continuing to push down the bot lane, however, but WE taking a very good fight. And the problem with the Sniper, you have to be so damn far back. Like, he was all the way over here, and Naga Siren just right over here just slept him. And that is an awesome drawing, by the way. But Sniper is not the bulkiest of heroes. So if you're a Morphling, if you're an Anti-Mage with that magic resist, you have like some sort of chance to escape from that. But Sniper sitting at 1,000 health, 34 minutes in the game, no health items. Yeah, it's rough. And what he really needs to do is either outposition the Siren, which is pretty much impossible considering the Song of the Siren is exactly what I spoke about before. Pick off the Siren, which will help quite a bit. Or just position himself way far back, and XY is going to be initiated by 3 heroes. He's in the middle of everyone, going to pop his BKB for this. Hand of God goes off, trying to save him, but the crits from the Lycan being too much. Now with the level 3? Yeah, level 3 Necro Book. Tier 1 tower in the mid lane is getting taken down, and Zenith, I don't think they played this out right. They managed to take down Tier 1 on the bottom lane, only because WE severely messed up, and now they're getting pushed down extremely hard. Naga Siren does have a heart completed. And no, the screen is not black. I disagree. Tower tier on the tier 2 is going to be taken down as well. Glyph trying to hold them up just for a little bit. Now we have to see if Zenith could do a defensive team fight. All these times it's been WEs with the defensive team fights. See if Zenith can return the favor. All the big ultimates are up. Song of the Siren being popped. Oh god, this is going to be rough. Song of the Siren being withdrawn. Instant Ravage being popped off. Venomancer is going to get demolished by the Lycan. Freedom is going to fall as well. Ice Slice is still in the back here. Cold snapping up to Crystal Maiden, trying to get something done, but Lycan with the double kill. JJ going to get taken down by the tower. One more click. Yes, the tower is going to be able to seal that kill. But now the rest of the WE is just wailing on the tower. Where's the Sniper? Sniper's in the middle of the base. Sniper's going to take a Rax, teleport back from the Crystal Maiden, trying to kill the Sniper, but no, the Rax goes down. Loda's being a crazy animal. What the hell? Did not expect that at all. Invoker managed, well, tried to stall them up, but ended up dying. Are there any buybacks? Nope. Buyback is ready for Chen, but what could you do as Chen? It's going to be a mid-Rax for WE, and looks like they're interested in just going for the GG. Invoker actually did manage to get enough money to buy back, just barely. Invoker is the only one who could really defend against this, but now Sand King is back up. Burst Strike into an Epicenter. No, he's going to hold the Epicenter for now. Sandstorming to try to dodge something, but it's not going to happen. Ice Slice dropping down the ice wall, and here comes Loda with that Mjolnir. Going to try to do the right-click damage to the Tidehunter, but unfortunately for him, Tidehunter does have a Hood of Defiance. Being able to block off a lot of that magical damage coming out from the Sniper. But Sniper being very, very sneaky, managing to take down a tier 1 or 1 Rax. This game's pretty damn close, actually. If Sniper keeps doing that, this Rax is going to fall, and then, well, WE, their option is going to have to be go for the GG. Otherwise, the creeps will just keep barreling down in their lane, and then it's really hard to fight back once that happens. Zenith not looking to let up on the pressure, now smoking up, looking for something. Is Roshan up? Not yet. But Naga Siren now going for Mantis-style, so there's going to be illusions freaking everywhere. Very bulky illusions, mind you. Zenith, are they going to backdoor? That would be amazingly awesome of them, because it'll just be hilarious to me. But it looks like WE is completely set up for this. They know that they're smoked up. Ice Slice is taking a range creep. Blink in and Burst Strike onto the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden is going to take a meteor to her head. Instantly flattened. For some reason she turned into ice, which makes no sense since fire is good against ice. True story. And with that pickoff, Zenith looks like they want to transition to the top lane. Keep in mind that WE, although they did lose their melee Rax, which is the most important Rax, they managed to take a melee and range, so the creepy equilibrium is going to be directed towards the Zenith base if they allow it to sit for a while. Zenith looking to pressure the top lane, so maybe a new lane, a new outcome in the fight. I'm not entirely convinced, however. They get a good Song of the Siren into a Ravage. Really, nothing you can do about that. And now I understand why Naga Siren is being picked up in the pro games, because Song of the Siren is just huge initiation that you can move around with. So it's a Ravage on wheels. And yes, in case you're wondering, that is the best way to describe it. Because that's pretty much exactly what it is, Ravage on wheels. We now see Lycanthrope with the BKB and Necrobook level 3 trying to go for a flank burst strike in from XY just to clear creeps. Song of the Siren goes off, only hitting XY, however, Ice Slice going to get hit by the tail end of that, and here comes the Ravage. No Ravage, there's the Ravage, but XY managed to pick off his Black King Bar in the meantime. Ice Slice with the Deafening Blast managing to buy himself just a little bit of time, but Earthshaker with the Rattle Strike like being able to pick him off. Force Spirit's doing a little bit of damage to JJ now. Finesse Master is on the run. He's stuck in the trees. He's going to try to teleport out. No. So much damage coming out from the WE side. And now I believe that's it. Invoker with the the Forge Spirits managed to pick up a kill. But now WE, they're fed up. They want a GG. They're going to push straight down the mid lane. And Loda, being the sneaky bastard that he is now going to go up and try to pressure up the top lane. Force them to TP back. CM is going to be up, so she could defend somewhat. Is Sniper going to come back? Sniper is going to come back. So boring. But he, you know, when the whole enemy team is barreling down, you kind of want to defend your Ancients. You know, it is defense of the Ancients. Earthshaker still has his ultimate. Now the tier 4 towers, I guess, siege has begun. Another Song of the Siren coming out. Sniper does have his BKB, so he's not affected by that, but Ensnare goes through BKB, and Sniper just getting torn to shreds. So much damage is going to come out from the WE side. Burst Strike going to hit onto everyone. XY does not have his ultimate anymore, though. Fisher going to be slowing them down, also kind of walling him off from the base. One tier 4 tower has fallen down, and another one is soon to follow, but look at the base of WE. The towers are getting brought down extremely quickly. Meteor going to be slowing them down as well. FNTY taking a ton of damage. Pipe going to be popped off by the Tidehunter, and huge Echo Slam, but not really enough creeps there, and XY managed to pop out his BKB. Ice Slice just sitting in the back and just right-clicking everyone. Looks like Tidehunter is going to be taken down by this Invoker if they manage to do enough right-click. Fisher to slow them down, but he's going to run through a tower, and that's going to be it for the Tidehunter. Is this tower? Oh god, the map. So Zenith managing to lose a tier 4 tower, but the creeps on the bot lane, such a pain in the ass for WE. They lost a tier 4 tower of their own. And, you know, even though Sniper is such a farmed hero, he does Phantom Midas, Mjolnir, Black King Bar, he just got torn to shreds. Like, it wasn't even funny. He just got completely demolished. He was the only one. Everyone else was taking a sleep break, and he got steamrolled. Retaliation push now coming out from the side of Zenith. And Tidehunter does not have his buyback. So they have 40 seconds to make something happen. Maybe take a Rax, or maybe perhaps take Roshan. If they do take Roshan, that would be pretty huge. Because they're killing Sniper within a giant team combo, and if Sniper comes back, then they're going to have to kill him all over again. But he's still not the bulkiest of heroes, so it's not that tall of an order. The Invoker actually managing to kill a tower with his Forge Spirits. Backdoor Forge Spirits, number 1. And Diffusal, Yasha into Diffusal, actually. Going to be picked up by Naga Siren. Diffusal is the best item to increase your DPS when you have illusions. Agility illusions, I'm sorry. With strength illusions may not be the same. But the mana burn does do quite a bit, and there's the Diffusal Blade pick up by the Naga Siren. Nothing really to purge off, nothing that important. So Purge most likely just going to be used for the slow, as it normally is. Sometimes you get a giant bonus and you could purge off something big from the enemy team. Not really going to be the case this time. Now Zenith is all grouped up in the mid lane, all except for Loda, who's pushing out the top lane. Trying to clear off these creeps, trying to keep the creep equilibrium on the WE side of the map as their bottom lane just continues to push in. Nothing to do about that for WE except for wait until they get a little bit closer and then just demolish them as fast as they can. But Loda with that Mjolnir doing a ton of lightning damage, just bursting them down with a lot of attack speed and a lot of lightning charges. Zenith is going to go for a huge split push, trying to pressure all the lanes at the same time. If might actually be beneficial for Zenith to split up their forces. Like individually, Zenith's heroes are pretty strong. Sand King is shown to be pretty baller, and Meteor going to go off into FNTY, but Ice Slice is now in danger. Is there going to be an ensnare? No, there's no ensnare. Ravage is actually going to be used, but it's wasted because he just got sent back home. Huge misplay by the Tidehunter. You're not supposed to Ravage like that. Now XY is in the base of the enemy, He's trying to take something down. Lycan is coming in fast. Is there going to be a Song of the Siren? Blink Fisher not going to be enough, and the Sand King now with rollerblades on all of his legs and limbs. Going to roll out just fine. The Ravage is down. That was a huge play by the Tidehunter, or huge misplay, I guess I would say. And Chen Creeps now just going to go in, hit the Ancient with a couple of clubs. This game is just so on the wire. If WE manages to take a fight, they could push in to win. But if Zenith manages to take a fight, they could do the same. So it's all going to come down to one big fight. And the one big fight is not going to be going the way of WE because their Ravage is down. I'm not liking WE's chances right now. They can still do it. However, huge Echo Slam going to be able to demolish the Invoker. Is Invoker going to be taken down? Yes, he is before this fight even starts. Naga Siren does still have her Song of the Siren up. And Loda's sitting in the back trying to get some right clicks done. Invoker's going to buy back into the game and try to get here as fast as possible. But here comes XY, going to burst strike into all of them. He still has his Epicenter up, but he's taking so much damage. BKB going to be used, but Ensnare goes through BKB. Epicenter being forced out of him, and he's going to use it, but a lot of it is going to be blocked by that pipe, not doing much damage at all. And that's not what you want to have happen, so I guess that issue is kind of equalized as far as the ultimates go. Freedom now on the run. Is Crystal Maiden going to catch up? Yes, she does have phase boots, so this Chen is not long for life as well. Diffusal Blade going to purge him off, and he's going to just try to stand his ground. Ice Ice trying to do something and lay down some spells to help. He's going to slow down F2Y and Chen just a little bit, but now JJ is on the chase. Here comes Teal and Yellow from the top side. They push down the top lane just a little bit. They're looking for FNTY. The lightning damage starts to go off, but Song of the Siren going to be getting them out. And that's Meister still in the back of play, and now the Song of the Siren is up. Chan is taking a ton of damage. Crystal Maiden being forced to drop the ultimate, doing quite a bit actually, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Invoker with the right click is going to be able to take her down. Sniper actually getting the last right click. Sniper with the alacrity now. Holy shit, the Sniper is just dishing. But now the creeps are continuing to pour into the WE base. Song of the Siren is down. Ravage is down. Echo Slam is down. And all of Zenith is still alive, so they actually did do that. We're just going to die and then keep coming back, and you can't survive strategy. This Rax is going to go down as well, and WE's, their hand is being forced. They have to defend this, but I don't think they have the potential to. They do have a pretty stacked Lycan. Lots of basic spells coming out as well. Ravage is now up, but they do not have the Song of the Siren. Actually, Song of the Siren is almost up as well. So they're actually going to hold this range Rax because all of Zenith decided to fall back. Sniper can just go to the low ground and shoot this thing, however. He could probably take that down pretty easily. But the creeps continuing to barrel in from the bot lane. And now Invoker is here, sheeping up to Tidehunter, cold snapping him as well, doing a ton of damage. But Tidehunter just simply too tanky. Invoker by himself cannot take it. Sunstrike gonna miss. And now Invoker might be in a little bit of danger. No. WE, they looped around outside their base. That would be a huge risk for them. XY just doing what he can, making sure that creeps stay right here. It's exactly where he wants them. These Naga Siren illusions simply, oh my god, they're scary. They're doing a ton of damage with that Diffusal Blade, and now Sniper being forced to use a static charge on himself just for the illusions. Definitely not what you want to have happen. But they're clearing off the creep wave extremely quickly with that Sand King Mjolnir combo. And this game is still going to go. This game could be anyone's. It all depends on the fights, the big 5-on-5 fights. And if WE has all their ults, which they do, I'm going to have to favor them to win this right now. It's just a matter of can Zenith weather the storm. If they could survive somehow the giant team fight, then they're going to be completely fine. If not, then they're just going to get cleaned up, and they need buybacks, but they already used quite a few buybacks. Poker doesn't have buyback, I don't think. No buyback. Buyback's ready on the Sniper, so that's good for him. XY no buyback either. Zenith playing extremely cautiously as they have to do so. Invoker did pick up an invisibility rune, so he's going to get a little bit of the scout out with these Forge Spirits and himself as well. But these Forge Spirits are nothing more than free gold. Well, they managed to pop out the Crystal Maiden's Ghost Scepter, so there's a small victory there. Do they have a gem? They seem to know where this Invoker is, but they do not have any vision. No, they do. They have level 3 Necro Book, and Ice has got to get out of here. Forge Spirits and Ice Wall are going to be popped off by him, but a Fish are going to block off. Oh, actually blocking off the Lycanthrope. Song of the Siren now going to go off, allowing Ice to get a perfect block. Ice to get a perfect block on Ice Ice, but with a Deafening Blast, he might be able to teleport out. Hand of God is going to save the Invoker. Invoker's going to get out in time. Meanwhile, the rest of Zenith is pushing down on the top lane. Pipe being popped off, and here comes the Lycanthrope. Lycanthrope doing a ton of damage. Ravage getting popped off by the Tidehunter, getting pretty much everyone. But no, actually there was a BKB from the Sand King managing to dodge the Ensnare. Good play by him, and he's on the run. And wow, I cannot believe that Invoker got out of there alive. Ballsy play to go for that teleport, knowing that all the stuns were down, and Tidehunter did not want to waste that Ravage. Whoa, this game is intense, guys. Zenith doing a bait and switch. So if they could pull that off, they could take this racks and then start sieging the top racks. It could go their way. Because this racks, this range racks, usually not really a high priority objective, but right now it is just so valuable for Zenith. They manage to take it down, then the creep equilibrium on the mid lane will be even, and will force WE to constantly go down there. Zenith just setting up camp in the WE side of the jungle, but they WE with that Observer Ward do know exactly what's going on. We now see Ice going onto FNTY, Diffusal Blade into an ensnare, and Naga has a gem. Ice has got to be careful. Meanwhile, Sand King being taken down by the Lycan, and Invoker getting taken down by the Naga Siren pretty much by her own. Gem of True Sight being a pretty large surprise to the Invoker. Sand King does have buyback, I suppose. Yeah, he does. Invoker does not. So Zenith's plans for pushing have been halted if they had any plans at all. But it looks like Icy taking a ton of damage from the Sniper. Sniper just dishing. Combined with the Venomancer, going to be able to pick up the Lycanthrope, who immediately buys back. He still has a ton of gold as well. Zenith's got to be careful. They have a huge push incoming on the mid lane. They have to defend this. They only have one more tower there. Well, it's only Siren and Tidehunter, so Fish Team Fish. But look at Siren. Manta, Diffusal, Gem, Heart. You cannot kill this Siren. If she gets in trouble, she's going to pop off her ultimate. This might be the last push. WE, with a ton of illusions, are just going to go for the straight tier 4 towers. Zenith Sniper has the perfect build to counter this. However, Brostrike going to come in from XY. He needs to use his Epicenter. But yes, there it is. The Epicenter with the BKB going to be able to clear off all the illusions, but he's just getting completely demolished regardless. FNTY very low on health, and he's going to go down. FNTY is dead, and Chan is still here trying to do something, but the Sniper in the back just wailing on him with those bullets. Assassinate is going to be able to kill him. Assassinate? No, Assassinate not being used, but Burrow Strike missing. I guess Kraken Shell probably dispelled the Assassinate. I don't know if that... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, but Sniper now is Manta style, and good cleanup by the WE, and oh no, Naga Siren does not have buyback. Tidehunter does not have buyback either. This is Zenith's chance. They managed to get 2 easy picks. Naga Siren and the Tidehunter a little bit too over-aggressive. Did not push with their teammates. They did not have the Earthshaker there. They did not have the Lycan there. And this might be the error that cost them the game. Zenith now going strong on the mid lane. And, well, the rest of WE trying to set up to defend for this. Maybe catch someone off guard with a giant Earthshaker ult, and where is he? There it is! Huge Echo Slam going to go off, but a deafening blast pushing everyone back. Luo is going to get taken down immediately. JJ is taking a lot of damage as well. She's going to get taken down by the Sand King. Earthshaker immediately buybacks into the game. I see his Cold Snap, and he's trying to get away, but no. So much attack speed coming out from these heroes, and that's going to be 4 heroes down for WE. This Rax is going to go down, and I think they could just go straight for the Ancients if they choose to do so. Leave the creeps to deal with this. And yes, that's going to be exactly what they do. Alacrity now on the Sniper. This Ancient is going to go down. There's nothing WE can do about it except for potentially use their fortification, but a Shrapnel is going to seal the deal. This Ancient's going to go down, and Zenith takes the game. Wow, that game, and this Venomancer Ward just chilling in the middle of nowhere, but very good game being played by Zenith. I was extremely scared for them at the end because their WE's team fight just came together so well, but WE at a certain point failed to find the openings, and then that just gave Zenith the opportunity to just push in and take the game. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been Zenith versus WE from the It's Gosu Monthly Madness Asia round of 8. I'll try to cast the rest of the set. There is 1 more game at least to go, possibly 2, who knows. So I'll try to get those to you guys as soon as possible. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys. GG.